from California, rapper Asaprocky declines a plea deal on the eve of the start of his trial. The rapper, whose real name is Rakim Mayers, is charged with 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The deal would have sent him to jail for 180 days, but he now faces up to 24 years in prison if he's convicted by a jury.
In and of itself does not mean that your client is guilty. That's the way we're going to deal with this, and that's the final ruling.
So Rocky is on trial. On the street is that poor Rihanna is out here looking all sad because her boyfriend / baby daddy / hubby might miss the boys' birthdays for the next 20 plus years.
Has pleaded not guilty to 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm stemming from a 2021 shooting involving his former friend. If convicted, he faces up to 24 years behind bars. His team turned down a plea deal of 180 days in jail and 3 years probation.
Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a fomatic, built from tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast with the blast, back real fast, and we in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We in with another one, a hot one. Asaprocky trial, what we know so far. You seen the intro. Let's get right to the information. I'm going to give you a quick timeline. Asaprocky is accused of firing a gun at former friend and collaborator A$AP Rocky, whose legal name is Terrell Ephraim, during an altercation in Hollywood in November 2021. I didn't know it took place in 2021. Prosecutors allege that tensions between the two escalated after a fallout over their personal and professional relationship, leading to the confrontation. Rocky claims that Rocky shot at him twice, with 1 bullet grazing his knuckles. However, and we will show photographs of that alleged injury. However, Rocky has pleaded not guilty and denies the allegations, stating that he used a starter pistol that only fires blanks to defuse a fight. Police officers who searched the scene found no physical evidence of a shooting, including shell casings or bullet holes. 2 days later, Rocky, the person who allegedly had been shot at, Rocky reportedly brought shell casings to the police. Listen to this, what I'm saying to you. 2 days after these events, in Los Angeles, this sounds eerily similar to another case in Los Angeles where 30 days after the alleged circumstances took place, the defendant came and presented new evidence. Rocky reportedly brought shell casings to the police, which he claims he retrieved from the scene. What we don't know, despite the allegations, key questions remain unanswered. There is no evidence of the shooting itself, only security footage showing part of the encounter. We will show a slight bit of that coming up. It is unclear whether forensic analysis can verify that the shell casings Rocky presented actually came from the alleged incident. Prosecutors have not produced direct evidence beyond Rocky's testimony to confirm that a real firearm was discharged. With no physical proof tying Rocky to a gunfire incident, the case heavily relies on the witness testimony and credibility. You might say to yourself, why did Asaprocky turn down the plea deal? He got a plea deal for 6 months, 180 days. He's now facing 24 years. What is Asaprocky's side of the story? Rocky lawyers argue that Rocky's accusations are baseless, absolutely baseless, and motivated by jealousy, financial gain. The defense states that Rocky carried a starter pistol as part of his security detail and used it to break up a fight between Rocky and another crew member. In court, Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, emphasized that the lack of physical evidence at the scene, questioning the credibility of Rocky's claims. No bullet holes, no blood, no shell casings. Tacopina said, adding that the shell casings presented by Rocky were suspiciously found days after the police had searched the area. Today we created this video to find out and get your reactions. I want to find out how you're reacting to the verdict. I want to find out how you're reacting to the charges, how you're reacting to the accusations. How do you believe this will affect Asaprocky, his career, and his family going forward? Rocky's emotional testimony described a strained relationship with Rocky, telling the court he's famous, I'm nobody. Rocky, meanwhile, has remained silent in court, with his lawyer speaking on his behalf. What is at stake for Rocky? If convicted, Rocky could face up to 24 years in prison. Such a verdict would have a systemic impact on his career, personal life, and his public perception. The trial is expected to continue with further witness testimonies and evidence presentations in the coming days. Rocky's legal team will likely continue to question the credibility of Relly's accusations and highlight the lack of forensic evidence. Meanwhile, the prosecution will lean on Relly's testimony as their central argument. Visual learners out there, I got some videos I want to share with you to encapsulate what's going on, break down the timeline of the trial, the ins and outs of the trial, and make sure you stay to the end of the video so you can make sure you get all of the details of what's next for ASAP Rocky. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Also, make sure you go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Those of you who are faithful watchers of the Perfect Timing Podcast, you might notice that their memberships are now available. So you know what to do. Go ahead and go get your membership right now. They're available right now. Go ahead and click, get your membership.
That's not Relly, but he's the guy, ASAP Rocky, allegedly. I know what you're thinking. Wait a second. You just said they was part of the same group. ASAP, I know what I said, but that don't change the facts, though. Because you see, ASAP Relly says they eventually meet up. And here's where things start to get wicked. Now, there's video surveillance of almost everything that happens next, and that's important. So I need you to listen closely. So you see Relly allegedly walking up to an alleged, just pretend I'm saying allegedly after everything. So you see Relly walking up to ASAP Rocky. They get in a little scuffle. Relly says at this point he was shocked because he thought they was just going to talk. He says he knows ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky is not really, that knuck and buck type. And that's very important to the story as well, because ASAP Rocky is known to be a fashion boy, not really a violent type, in his own words as well. ASAP Rocky also had two other members of the ASAP crew behind him. Now, they all know each other. So the other ASAP members were just standing there. They're like, oh, damn. ASAP Rocky then pushes ASAP Relly out of the camera range. The other members of the ASAP crew jump in to separate them. They're like, no, y'all.
Now, this is the first time I've been doing my research this morning. I've read some reports to you. Now, one of the things I want to point out, shout out to the content creator, give props to the content creator, is the fact that there were other witnesses. And what I read to you is that the prosecution is going to be depending on Relly's testimony as the crucial part of their argument. That is what's being reported. The prosecution doesn't have any forensic evidence. But what has been left out is what was just pointed out right now, that there were other material witnesses who were actually there, who could speak to what actually happened beyond ASAP, beyond Relly, and speak to what truthfully took place. And I'm surprised that the prosecution and the DA didn't take those witness accounts into account before moving forward with the prosecution. Let's go back to the video. That's a very good thing to point out. Shout out to the content creator.
Doing too much. Now remember, they were out of the camera range on this side. When the other crew members came to separate them, they start pushing Relly back in the camera range. ASAP Rocky then comes back in the camera range and starts reaching in his waistband. Then visibly pulls out a ting. But then they go out the camera range on this side. Remember what I just said. ASAP Rocky, the fashion boy. So ASAP.
Now, this is the crux of the whole argument. This is basically what the defense, this is basically what the prosecution is going for. Actually, I don't believe the prosecution is even going to use this because they can't prove, as I read to you in the reports, ASAP Relly brought shell casings that he found himself post-police doing reconnaissance on the scene. The police did not recover anything. Relly 2 days later recovered shells and then brought them to the police. I am very interested to find out the ballistics of those shell casings. So far, what we do know is those shell casings do not match up to this this item that's being pictured here in this video, but we do not know as of now what they do match up to. But currently, they do not have a place in this case. Thus, there is no forensic evidence. But I'm interested at where he got these and if he got these legally, and why would he put himself in such jeopardy? Let's go back to the video.
That really like, bro, I known you since you're not going to do nothing. And well, he was right. Asaprocky didn't do anything. Asaprocky walks back in the camera range. You see him put the thing away. And Asaprocky says himself, Rocky did nothing at that point. Because here's where things start to get wickeder. Asaprocky is walking away. Asaprocky says, okay, at this point, I was a little mad. Asaprocky basically starts telling Rocky, you a sellout. You got a little money and you switched up on your boys. You got some of your boys still in the projects. He said one of our boys addicted to, I think it's this group member he was talking about, addicted to, and you ain't help him out, Rocky. He says this is when Rocky lost it, turns around and starts letting them things go. Jumping behind other group members talking about, oh, that boy Rocky busting. He said then one of his knuckles got grazed, but that was it, and everybody scattered. They allegedly have this part on video too, but it's super blurry. Now, here's the issue. Half of that story was caught on camera, but the other half, the important parts, were just the word of Asaprocky. So let's go back to earlier in the story. Remember, this whole thing started because Asaprocky said, Asaprocky, you didn't pay for our boy's funeral arrangements. You switched up. Well, it turns out Asaprocky did pay for the funeral arrangements. Asaprocky goes, oh yeah, Asaprocky did pay for the funeral arrangements. But I found out after we already started arguing. Does that make sense? Asaprocky thought Asaprocky didn't pay for their friend's funeral arrangements, so they started arguing. Somebody probably hit up Asaprocky earlier talking about, bro, you look stupid. He did pay for the funeral arrangements. But at this point,
now, that's the first time. Did y'all know that? So I did report and understand that the altercation transpired because of the family. Remember, we reported that the family was upset, but turns out that was false. This is why we're doing this video, to give you guys a recap. Shout out to the content creator. Doing a great job. I just wanted to let you guys know what we know so far, where we're at with the story, and what Asaprocky could potentially be facing. Back to the video.
For one, the only person saying that Asaprocky somebody is Asaprocky, the jealous friend. Nobody else said nothing. For two, police. When y'all went to the scene, did y'all find any evidence? The police said, no, we didn't find any evidence. But then, this part's important, Asaprocky himself goes back to the scene and finds shell casings as evidence and gives them to you.
What?
Police said, yeah, that is what happened. And honestly, that in itself is so ridiculous, it'll probably be enough to get Asaprocky out of jail. Asaprocky heard they didn't find any evidence, so he went back to the scene and says, police, I found evidence here. On top of that, the police raided Asaprocky's home because an alleged...
Now, I did report that same thing. Police didn't find anything, but Asaprocky 2 days later goes to the police department with 2 shell casings. That leads to them raiding the house. Let's see what they found when they raided Asaprocky's house.
Is very serious, and they found, but they were registered, and they didn't help the case, meaning those maybe didn't match the one used in the whole altercation. On top of that,
so as reported, this incriminating alleged by Asaprocky led to the search and seizure of ASAP and Rihanna's domicile, where they did recover legally obtained protection that were registered legally and did not match the ballistics of the shells presented by Asaprocky. A lot of people saying, why did Asaprocky turn down the 6 months? Why did Asaprocky turn down the plea? Now you may understand a little bit more clear about the case and why he would go ahead to trial and feel so confident about his current circumstances.
decide. Side note, ASAP Relly is also suing ASAP Rocky for $25,000, like saying emotional damage and stuff like that. And that's why ASAP Rocky's lawyer is saying, yo, he's doing all of this for money.
Cap of the whole events. Just in case, I want to know from you in the comments what you feel about the situation. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go ahead and grab your membership now while they're available. And thank you for supporting. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and share the video. Let people know that memberships are available. Thank you guys for your support. Now, I also want to talk about this question that I've heard about, and I want to get your reaction in the comment section and tell me what you think. Is this relevant or not? We've been hearing some questions and concerns from some activists about ASAP Rocky and the jury pool and the jury selection. Let's go and let's.
Why do 58% of high-profile trials end in controversy? $AP Rocky's case might just be the next big headline. $AP Rocky's felony assault trial is making waves, and not just because of the charges. The jury? 7 women, 5 men, and guess what? Not a single black juror. That's right, despite both Rocky and the alleged victim being African-American, the jury is entirely white, Asian, and Hispanic. 4 alternates, all women and none black, were also chosen. This selection took place in downtown Los Angeles, with the trial kicking off this Friday under Judge Mark Arnold. During selection, potential jurors were even quizzed about their familiarity with Rihanna, Rocky's partner and the mother of his 2 kids. Rocky turned down a plea deal that would have landed him 180 days in county jail. Now he's staring down a possible 24-year sentence if convicted. Buckle up, folks. This trial is one to watch.
Sure, let me know in the comments what you feel about this jury selection issue. And like I said, we heard from some activists and some people have spoken out about the issue. Let's listen to what they had to say and let me know in the comments how you react to what's been said about this jury selection issue.
There was no single black person who could be on the jury for a case with so much media coverage. Believe it or not, the Reverend Al Sharpton jumped into the conversation and expressed his concern about the jury selection. He said, "I have been closely in touch with ASAP Rocky's friends, and though I do not know the particulars of the trial, I do know he deserves to be judged fairly by his peers, as is his constitutional right. It is absolutely ridiculous that the jury will be not fair and representative so as to deprive ASAP Rocky of a fair trial. When we have 4 black people in the city of Los Angeles out of the 106, and exactly 0 within the first 30 possible candidates for the jury, something appears to be very wrong with the system."
Thank you guys for watching and supporting. Make sure you grab your membership. ASAP Rocky trial, what we know so far, hey, this is going to be a trial that we're going to watch. Make sure we're going to stay to the end until the verdict. So make sure you watch any upcoming videos. What I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to create a playlist so that you can carry along with us. And make sure while you're on this playlist, go ahead and subscribe to the other playlist that we got on the channel. You're going to find some great content for everybody that's a new subscriber. Make sure you go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and grab yourself a membership. Thank you for the support. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the case, how you feel about the accusations, how you feel about the impact on ASAP Rocky and his future. Let me know how you feel about him turning down a plea deal for 6 months and accepting guilt for actually shooting this individual. Let me know how you feel about the jury selection. It's a lot of moving parts to this case that we can discuss in the comments. So I'm really looking forward to what you guys have to say in reaction to this video. Thank you for your support. Have a great day. My name is Perfect of the Perfect Summer Podcast Networks, and I'm out.